Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hey everybody, and welcome to part 2 of our special Emmy nominations. You know what happened? I sounded like a robot that just ran out of battery.
Right.
And my tribute to humans. Yes, that were not nominated
or Westworld.
for an Emmy.
But Westworld, they don't run out of battery power.
No.
You have to.
So this is our second part of our Emmy nominations podcast, and because we're taping this on the same day that we taped the first one, we don't have new stats for you. But in lieu of stats, since usually our stats are the directing and the writing. This week, since we're not going to go into the directing and the writing categories for the Emmys, we're just going to give you the stats on those categories.
Exactly. Very clever.
So for Outstanding Directing in a Drama, we have one woman nominated, Carrie Scogland for The Handmaid's Tale. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they didn't have the list, at least that I saw, didn't have the names of the episodes, but any episode from The Handmaid's Tale could be nominated.
But I'd like to know which one she wrote.
Yeah. Outstanding Directing in a Comedy, we have Amy Sherman Palladino?
Well, I thought it was Palladino.
From The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, who is also the creator, I believe, of the show.
And we really enjoyed the show increasingly as it went on.
Yes, it was so smart, it was so clever. And
she's the creator, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Outstanding Writing in a Drama, we have Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Killing Eve. And Outstanding Writing in a Comedy, finally we have more than one woman representative.
Yes, we do.
We have 3. Stefani Robinson for Atlanta, Liz Sarnoff for Barry, and Amy Sherman Palladino for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So at least we have one woman in each of the categories.
Exactly.
And thank you, comedy writers, for
well, I think women have always kind of been
more prominent. It's so weird though, because as you know, women are not funny.
No, I don't. I actually don't know that.
That was said in sarcasm. If anybody didn't get the tone.
Yes, well, they say it all the time, including on.
I'm dying up here.
I'm dying up here.
So, but since we're talking about funny women, and we're going to be talking about comedy series now.
Which we don't know much about.
Well, we don't know much about the comedy series. We only watched Mrs. Maisel out of the comedy series, so we didn't even bother putting in the rest of them because we cannot comment
we can't
on
possibly.
them.
But I suppose we could have.
No, we can't.
Mentioned
well, yes, but you can read that anywhere. We're telling you our take on it. So we only watched Mrs. Maisel, though we loved it. It got better and better with time.
When we saw the pilot, we weren't that excited. We couldn't understand what everybody was, so excited about.
Well, my biggest problem with the pilot was that this is a Jewish family, which, by the way, is played
Jewish.
by a non-Jewish. Yeah. When will we get there?
Maren Hinkle, I suppose,
could be
Jewish.
When will we get to the day like gay people playing gay people, trans people playing trans people, Jewish people playing Jewish people?
I think Jewish people are doing fine in the entertainment industry, and we really don't have to worry about them.
But my problem with the pilot of Mrs. Maisel was that the family was extremely cliche. It was such a Jewish stereotype.
Yes, and if you know any fairly wealthy Jews from the Upper West Side, and many of you I'm sure don't, but many of us do.
They're cool people, Harge.
Yes,
not like
but
that.
at a certain point in time, this was very stereotypical.
Extremely stereotypical, but which I guess for the time maybe would have been
exactly.
But anyway, at least I always tell myself when I watch a pilot and something bothers me, I tell myself you can't judge a show by its pilot. The pilot oftentimes is just, they have to capture something that they think they will want to buy, and then they take off on it and they do all sorts of things and evolve.
They almost always improve it.
Yes. So, and indeed they did improve on this.
Very much.
I just want to say a little something about Harge in case you didn't get that. So if you've all seen Carol, and we assume you've all seen Carol, and if you haven't,
and you've probably
why
seen
not?
it multiple times, as have we, knowing our audience.
There's a line that Carol says, which is, "And we're not bad people, and we're not ugly people, Harge." And this has become something that Mimi and I say all the time about everything.
Wherever it presents itself, the opportunity, we add Harge. It's like in bed for fortune cookies.
Now, what I can say about a comedy series that was not in here and should have been in here, and it's one of the very few that we actually watch, it's Will and Grace. Oh, wait! Mom, too.
Mom wasn't nominated?
No.
Oh, my God.
Mom and Will and Grace, two of the best comedies out there, should have so been nominated.
I can't believe they weren't nominated.
No. Allison Janney always gets a nomination for Mom.
For something.
Well, yes, but for Mom specifically, but the show was not nominated. And Will and Grace had a fantastic reboot
Really,
season.
I wasn't going to watch it. I kept on saying, it's so the same. Well, it isn't so the same. And even if it is so the same, it's hilarious.
And the one episode that you said, you can just go ahead and watch without me, was their best episode, and I rewatched it with you.
So I said, okay.
Will and Grace and Mom, very disappointing. So we're going to go to the other
limited series,
now.
which is in general one of my favorite. However, I saw hardly none of these. No. The Alienist, which I saw. It was one of my favorite books. It was very brilliantly done in every possible way. It just didn't cut it.
No, it was lacking
something was missing. I think Daniel Bruhl was the wrong person for the lead character. He is not charismatic. And this character, even though he's kind of an angry guy, needs to have more power. So the assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story, I think
nothing can beat it.
Nothing can beat it. It was just in every way possible
the top
a piece
of
art. It really, really was.
Yeah. I mean, even when you compare it to other Ryan Murphy endeavors, this was, I think, the best thing he's done.
And it was so different from everything else.
Which he always does. I mean, everything he does is very different from everything else he's ever done.
His originality, his scope, the things that he can do, the people he chooses to do them,
the performances he gets out of them,
the performances the directors get out of them, just stunning. This was an amazing series.
Yeah.
We don't watch, unfortunately, any of the Geniuses. Picasso, and I heard it was really wonderful.
We tried Godless.
I love
Michelle
Dockery. I'm mad for her. I like Merritt Weaver. I like a lot of the people in it. Jeff Daniels.
I like the idea of it.
But I think I'm going to go back now that it got quite a few nominations and try to watch it again.
Not me. I can't.
And Patrick Melrose, which I watched one episode of and just said, I'm not going to watch this character. Sherlock, what's his name?
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, who I'm not really a fan of, even though he's a wonderful actor.
The only thing we liked him in is when he played Turing.
Yeah. But he was so repulsive, this character, so self-indulgent, and I thought, who needs to see this?
Well, the good thing is that even if we had seen anything else, we would have chosen Gianni
Versace. Exactly.
All right, lead actress in a comedy series, which surprisingly enough, we've seen quite a few of these.
Yes.
Pamela Adlon, Better Things. If you're not watching Better Things yet, please go watch Better Things.
Something better than a lot of other things, believe me.
She is so special, this woman. She is just one of a kind, and I recommend
heard of her as a stand-up
She was mostly from... She was a writer,
yes. She's just wonderful, and it's a great series.
Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Miss Maisel, she does some really, really, really great stuff there. And it's not easy to do comedy.
And it's a real performance. Yeah, right.
Yes. It's truly very, very, again, special what she does there. Tracy Ellis Ross and Issa Rae, we don't watch their series, but I just want to say, again, one of those horrifying stats, which is if they win, if one of them wins, then they would be the first black woman to win in this category since the Jefferson star Isabel Sanford did in 1981.
Now that series I watched. Moving on up to the east side.
There was a little less on television.
Yeah.
But it's again one of those stats that just blow my mind. Allison Janney for Mom can always win for anything. And again, a little stats. If she wins this, she will tie with Cloris Leachman for being the most awarded performer in Emmy history with 8 Emmys.
And now she's got an Oscar.
Yep.
And
again, this is her. Well, every year is her year,
I
really.
don't
But
think she's won
so
anything for the theater, but she will.
She was nominated, though. I think for wasn't she nominated for 6 Degrees of Separation a year ago or so?
I think she maybe was.
Yeah,
she was great.
She is a genius, I think, in what she does and everything she does, and I will always be happy for her to win.
Yes, me too.
I was really happy to see Lily Tomlin for Grace and Frankie, but I have to say that if I had to choose one of them, I would have chosen Jane Fonda for Grace and Frankie. Because
yes, I think she's quite underrated in the role.
I think she has so much more to do, and she's very nuanced, and she's funny.
And she
but she's
doesn't
also
have shtick. I mean,
right, exactly. There's no gimmick to her
Lily
performance.
Tomlin's character is a shticky character.
Yeah. But
she's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just very excited that, again, even though I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I'm happy that finally somebody else will get to take an Emmy home.
How good could she be that she won every single year?
I don't know.
And again,
I love
take
her.
yourself out of contention at
I'm
some
excited
point.
to see what the next thing that she will be doing.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Hopefully it will be something that we'll actually watch. All right. So, lead actress in a limited series or movie.
Well, this is another one of those categories.
Very tough.
Laura Dern in The Tale. I want to tell you that if you haven't watched The Tale, was it on
it's HBO? I believe, yeah.
You should really watch it, but I have to give a caveat. Somebody's building a house back there. We're just going to be hearing that. It's a very difficult show to watch.
And especially people who have a problem with triggering for abuse and molesting children.
Yes.
Very, very tough to watch. I just remember, though, because it was a couple of months ago when we saw it, and I remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, Laura Dern. Oh my God, Laura Dern. And I remembered that when I read this category, and I thought, okay, I think she has to be my choice. Though we would be happy with a couple of others.
I'm not quite sure. Jessica Biel, I'm so happy that she was nominated for The Sinner. It was a very interesting performance, and she ran the gamut of emotion. She really, really did. She went from practically catatonia to being... to having a full. Yes.
I'm making a fearless prediction. Next year we'll be seeing Carrie Coon in this for The Sinner.
I think so. I think Carrie Coon does something every year she could be nominated for, and I think she has been a lot.
Now, we haven't seen
Godless, unfortunately, because Michelle Dockery, who I adore in every way, is nominated for Best Lead Actress in a Limited Series or Movie.
Yeah. So even though we haven't seen it, we love her, and we
love
would
her,
always be
and
happy.
If she wins, she wins, and I'm happy. Although I would like to have seen her nominated for...
for Good Behavior.
Good Behavior.
Which is, again, it's a TNT show that would never even be recognized,
and
which is
such
one of those things.
Interesting, fun,
yeah,
crazy show.
Funny.
And she's magnificent in it.
Yeah.
Edie Falco, Menendez Murders.
One of the very, very, very few categories for a network show. I think it bears mentioning.
And what a fine performance she gave.
She would be my second choice for this.
And I remember when all this happened, and she reminds me very much of Leslie Abramson.
Yeah.
It's a strong performance.
I'm so happy she got nominated.
Me
because
too.
We very rarely these days see network shows be recognized, and this is a very, very fine performance to throw in there. Now Regina King is nominated for 7 Seconds, which is something that we have never even heard of. I went and looked for it, and it's a Netflix crime drama about tensions between black residents and white cops in Jersey City, and it sounds very interesting, and I want to see it.
Regina King, it seems to be, again, one of those people, whatever she's in, she's nominated for. And although I think she's a wonderful actress, and there are times when she should, I still don't think she should have won that for... American Crime.
Yeah. There were so many American Crime.
Many other people who were more worthy of that. But anyway, she's a wonderful actress, and I'm glad to see her nominated.
And then...
And then our darling Sarah Paulson, who American Horror Story cult, who seems to be nominated almost every year for American Horror Story.
Listen, he delivers the roles, she delivers the performance. So
and she
that's
was
the combo.
I watched about 5 episodes.
Yeah,
of
we
this,
watched them together,
and she
always is
just wonderful.
Yeah, she is. I'm always happy when Sarah is nominated because whatever she does, she's always fabulous. Now, supporting actress in a comedy series, we're just going to really kind of read it out because we don't watch most of these. Zazie Beetz for Atlanta. Alex Borstein, so happy to see for the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
We love her.
The only Jew.
Well, we don't know that she's the only Jew. We still don't know she's the only Jew. But
now, from Saturday Night Live, we have A.D. Bryant, Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon,
who I would always vote for.
We don't watch Glow, which we do want to we do want to try, but we love Betty Gilpin.
Yes,
in
Betty
general.
Gilpin is a wonderful actress.
Yeah, and we do want to check out Glow.
And the ensemble show, a cast is supposed to be fantastic. So her to be nominated, it must be a great performance.
Laurie Metcalf for Roseanne. So happy that if one person had to get a nomination there, it would be Laurie Metcalf, who's always divine.
And we always said that the spinoff should be Jackie anyway.
Absolutely. The Connors, are you kidding me? Jackie. That's what the people want.
Well, at least that's what these people want.
And finally, Megan Mullally for Will and Grace. And now, you guys probably didn't know me 10 years ago. I was like a huge Karen and Megan Mullally fan. So for me to say this is a lot. As much as I love Megan Mullally, as much as I love Karen, this season belongs to Deborah Messing.
But Deborah Messing would have had to have been nominated as Best Actress, don't you think, as lead actress?
Maybe. I guess so. I think. But the fact that
she wasn't... It is called Will and Grace.
I guess so. But the fact that she wasn't nominated anywhere, this season... To me, the smartest thing that they did bringing the show back was to make Grace the center, the core of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know that, yes, it's called Will and Grace, so Karen and Jack were always supporting. I think that Karen had less to do in this season than she's ever had to do.
Well, and to me, both Karen and Jack are complete and utter caricatures.
Well, that's kind of what they're supposed to be, though.
Yes, but it bores me. I don't want to see people just being things. I want a little bit more depth, even in my silly comedies, because this show is a funny-ass show. But Deborah Messing just brings an extra dimension of fabulosity.
And she's expanded the character of Grace. She made her a feminist. Deborah had much more insight into the character this time and much more influence on how she was written. So I'm very disappointed.
Hilarious. Her brand of comedy.
And speaking of a Jew who plays a Jew and flaunts their Jewishness.
Today is all about Jews in television.
Anyway, I'm very
brought
disappointed.
Brought to you by the Hadassah.
Anyway, I was very disappointed for Deborah. Deborah, if you're listening, because she does follow me on Twitter, if you're listening out there, we're with you. We love you, and we voted for you.
We voted for you. And boy, did we have a lot of influence.
All right, next up.
Supporting actress in a limited series or movie. And to me, this is another very difficult category. My beloved Sarah Bareilles in Jesus Christ Superstar Live in Concert. Now, I happen to think Sarah Bareilles is a genius songwriter. She's a fabulous person. She's adorable. She's a great singer, my favorite pop singer.
I detect a but.
But I just don't think that Mary Magdalene is that interesting a role.
Yeah. Hopefully next time.
But I'm so thrilled for her nomination. Yeah. I love that she's gone into Broadway now. She's nominated for Emmys.
She's conquering the world, baby.
She's been around for a while, and she's been out there, doing her thing, and she's being now.
And she deserves it because she really,
everything.
Really is
Anybody who could write Gravity
special.
deserves the world. Another performance that I really loved, Penelope Cruz and the assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story. She played
the sister,
Donatella, and she was, I have to say she was hilarious, because Donatella is a very distinct human being, and she did a very great take on her. Even though there's nothing funny about the role or the story, she was very, very wonderful. Yeah. But our choice,
pretty much always, but especially in this,
is Judith Light for
Judith
the assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story.
Judith Light can infuse pretty much any character with so much more, but this character had already so much in it.
So much in it, but so much under the surface. And she kept a lot of it under the surface most of the time.
Which she's very good, especially at doing. She's very good at playing those reserved.
These reserved people who have a lot boiling under it's like a still active volcano that is quiet on the surface, but bubbling underneath. And she was in a couple of episodes.
So
she was magnificent.
And she is our choice.
And she is our choice, of course.
She's pretty much always our choice.
I don't know Adina Porter for American Horror Story Cult. I'm sure I saw her, but I don't know who she was.
By the way, we have a very angry crow in the background.
That's another thing. Either someone's building a house and they're sawing and hammering, or there's a crow or a squirrel yammering out in the back. Merritt Weaver, who I really like from Godless, but
we haven't seen it. Yeah.
And Letitia Wright from the episode of Black Mirror called Black Museum, which we're going to have to see. We have not been good about watching this series, and I am dying to watch it.
We watched the San Junipero one because
that was an easy one.
Exactly, that was the only positive one in the bunch, I think.
I think
they're very tough to watch, which is why I'm kind of reluctant. But
yes, but I'm going to watch it because they're supposed to be sensational. And there's many people I love in them.
I know.
So
Judith Light, though, is our choice for this category.
Definitely our choice.
Now we have guest actress in a comedy series, Tina Fey, Saturday Night Live.
How can you go wrong with Tina Fey?
I mean, we don't watch Saturday Night Live often because the writing has really not been up to par. But Tina Fey is always...
We watched all the political stuff, and we loved it.
Also for Saturday Night Live, there's Tiffany Haddish. Again, we haven't seen. Maya Rudolph for The Good Place. We don't watch it, even though...
Everybody says that it's a really fantastic show, and I...
We started it, but we're not good on comedies. Wanda Sykes for Blackish. Again, we don't watch, but Wanda Sykes can do no wrong. Molly Shannon for Will and Grace, which was that episode that was the best episode of the season, and I had to rewatch it with you. It was so genius.
Molly Shannon's someone else that I adore and always have.
But our choice, Jane Lynch in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
What a revelation this performance was.
She really showed what she can do,
really
right? What a range she has. Because usually she's kind of cast for the same, like Sue Sylvester.
Yes, Sue Sylvester. Exactly. Sort of a mean-spirited...
funny woman, yeah.
Funny woman, yeah.
But this role...
She actually plays a dual role.
Yes.
It's the same character, but it's two sides of the same character, and she does a brilliant...
It's like a character within a character.
Within a character, yes. There's a character she plays as a comic, and there's who she really is. And it's
so genius.
So well done.
She's so good. She's so good, you guys.
I hope she wins.
And finally, just for Outstanding TV Movie, we haven't seen any of the nominated films except for The Tale. And The Tale, we can tell you...
would be worth a win. Absolutely.
Could definitely win. So this is our take on at least some of the categories of the
100 million nominations for the Emmy Awards.
And can be sure that after the Emmys actually happen, we will talk to you about
much discussion.
Yes, about how we feel about who won and who didn't win. And how who's hosting?
I don't know.
I still think that Amy Poehler and Tina Fey should host everything.
Everything, absolutely.
And Kate McKinnon, too.
Oh, yeah, the Spirit Awards, the year that she hosted were my favorite.
So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much again for tuning in.
This is new to us,
Thank you for tuning in to us again and for hearing us rant. And again, we would love to
rave.
And rave. We would love to know your thoughts on this. ladypartstv@gmail.com. We'd like to know your thoughts on anything and everything. As you always know, we welcome your emails. So please let us know. And join us again next week. Bye.